That's what she
So,
said.
okay.
She's like, oh, I could be there twice.
Yeah. Okay. I've been talking about her coming, and
Can
that's
you remind me about airplay?
Oh,
been
it
in,
should be
like-
multi-purpose room. If you click the toggle switches there, yep, and then screen mirroring, and then there's going to be a whole bunch, but it should be multi-purpose room. Yep. And then I just have to turn on the projector.
Oh, why are we going way down there? You sit down there.
$5307 is the code. Oh, sorry, 5037.
5037?
Yeah. There we go.
And we have, so he likes to start with a book trailer.
Okay.
So will audio...
Audio will go through. Yeah, let's press connect. Do we have a video that we can just sort of test?
Yep. Wow. And we don't have to, but...
Let's see if, can I just turn volume? I don't want to miss it. Can you just turn your system volume all the way up just to make sure we're.
Sorry, we really meant to be here before now.
Oh gosh, you're fine. Alright, just double check something really quickly. If you can leave that, we'll just leave that playing for right now just to test it. Bear with me 2 seconds. Now, if you're connected to the Apple TV, that should. Sound. There we go. Doesn't seem to be. It's not up on the screen right now. I'm just going to try and hook in here and see.
Cool. Can I please have everybody's quiet attention? It's up with level 0. And up with level 0. Second grade.
I think because we have the microphone, it shouldn't make a difference. But
All right, friends in the back, if you don't have
we
a
don't
seat,
we don't have to play it.
thank you. If you
Yeah,
could take a seat
maybe-
around the side of the auditorium, that would be terrific. There are also a few more chairs in the back, but if you don't have a chair in the back, if you could have a seat or stand along the edge on either side of the multi-purpose room, that would be terrific. And we'll get started in just a moment.
I'm not sure. I'm going to try and turn off volume on this. It's weird. It's like.
I don't know why this one was set up.
I think it's just what I think it is what.
Right in there.
Yeah.
Did you get it?
Let me just see if, as long if I haven't used the wireless before. Have you used it? Yeah. I mean, if you want to grab that. Just don't know why this is happening.
Because We can also just try it through you. Oh, you're not getting it through YouTube either, are you?
No, I won't be able to. I won't be able to put it through here. I don't know why that's not. Yeah, we might have to scrap that.
That's fine. That's fine.
I apologize.
No.
Just to, in the interest of.
Yeah, we need to move. Yeah, we need to move, and yeah.
Sorry about that.
Hello, South Portland Middle School. Can I have your hand up? Voices off. So low. I can pick it up. Hello. Thank you very much. Amazing. I think you guys told your friends and you brought friends that we didn't know about. Now we're packed in here because there's a very special person here who I am going to let Kirsten Cappy introduce. This is an amazing opportunity for us, and I appreciate all the teachers and administrators for supporting this moment and this educational opportunity. And thank you all for coming and for being really good listeners and respectful during this time. So I'm going to hand the mic over. Thank you.
So books sort of just magically appear, right? Like they appear in your classrooms and they appear in your libraries, but sometimes it takes a huge effort. So 10 different organizations, including I'm Your Neighbor Books, raised about $10,000 to bring Omar Mohamed from Pennsylvania and to make sure that 2,000 people ended up with books. Has anybody in the room read this book? Yes. All right, so you don't need me to introduce this person because you have known Omar since he was 4 years old, and you knew him at 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to 18. Now, you may know in the end that he was such an extraordinary student that he got a rare scholarship to come to the United States and attend college and got to bring his brother with him. So this is like seeing Omar Mohamed live in person is like getting the sequel to When Stars Are Scattered, right? Because he didn't just get a car, he didn't just get a job, he didn't just continue taking care of his brother. He decided he was going to take care of the Dadaab refugee camp for the rest of his life, right? So we're going to hear about the incredible organization called Refugee Strong that he started. And I'm going to stop talking because you're here to see him. So let's give a huge cheer to Omar Mohamed.
Sorry.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? Good. This is one of the best welcome I ever received. I've been saying I visited, I think, 1,500 something schools so far. This is the 23rd state that I've been to. 27 more to go, right? I don't know what they are doing. They need to come and find me soon. So you guys are number 23, but whenever I speak with the students I always leave behind some reviews. I want to see which one was the best schools I've been to. Already, there's one school that's leading, which is called it's in Muskegon, Iowa. Very far. That has been. We had a special relationship. I have a special relationship with that school. But this is, you guys are up there too. This is one of the best welcomes. So don't screw the body at the end, okay? That's why I usually, yeah, now I'm this, then at the end when everybody starts talking, then it will be that. Let's keep the good, warm welcome. I really appreciate it. I was told this is trailer of the book. It doesn't work now, but you can watch your own. We just put the name of the book, trailer, and then it is nice 2-minute video that's really me talking, making some, you will see a lot of good things in that trailer. I'll advise the teachers to show the students in their classroom at their free time. It's just the trailer of the book. So, as I see, I was standing behind, and when you're asked how many of you guys read the book, so I guess a lot of you guys read the book, you know everything about me, so I'm not sure why I'm here. You know everything, why am I here? So you get to know a little bit more about the book and maybe answer some of your questions, right? That is the main reason I'm here. So the book, it talks about me, 4 years old, my brother Hassan, 2 years old, in a refugee camp called Dadaab refugee camp in Kenya. You may ask, why did I choose to share my story, or why did I choose to write this book? It has several reasons, but one of the main reasons is I choose to share my story so I can be a voice for those refugee children around the world who don't have the resources or the ability to share their story. My story is just like any other refugee story, regardless of where they're from. Because we refugees or immigrants generally have one thing in common. We are all forced to flee from our home countries. My t-shirt says, no one chooses to be a refugee. And that is the last thing any human being wants, is to flee from their home country and go to another country. Because when I was 4 years old, we were what you guys called a middle class family. My parents were able to provide everything and anything that we needed. We were a happy family until the war broke. Those Ukrainians were a happy family until the war broke. They were okay. They needed to go to Poland as refugees or other neighboring countries. They were okay. They were happy. Happy kids going to school. They were okay until the war happened. The same applies Palestine, Afghanistan, Somalia, Congo. Or do you know who pays most of the price? Children. And they have nothing to do with the war. Nothing. They don't fight. They don't contribute to the fight. Nothing. But they are the ones who will be displaced. They are the ones who will become orphanage. They are the ones who will miss their school. They are the ones who will be called refugees. And they are the ones who will grow up in a refugee camp. For something that they have nothing to do with them, children. So that's what happened to me. I can't imagine my parents imagining their kids growing up in a refugee camp. It was never something that they thought of, something that came into their mind. My father owned one of the largest farms. When we grew up, we owned 100 cows, hundreds of cows, because we are farmers. We owned goats and countless goats. So we were happy. We were kind of very rich on our own. But the circumstances make us flee from our home country to neighboring countries. How does the fleeing happen? For me, when I was 4 years old, my brother 2 years old, that's when we fled from our home. A lot of refugees flee from their home. The way they flee from their home is unplanned. You don't book a flight or plan for a trip and say, get everybody your belongings. You're gonna leave in 2 days. You're gonna now. God forbid we arrive here. Everyone has to flee from here to the neighboring country. You guys are like, I guess Canada is closer. So we go to walk to Canada as refugees. You don't go look for your parents, your other siblings. Your belongings, no. You only take with you what you have with you right now. That's what happens with a lot of refugees. They don't go look for their mom, their dad, their other siblings, their other belongings. No. When I was fleeing, I fled from my house. Who was there with me? My younger brother. Who did I flee with? Our neighbors. So it took us 3 months until we came to the neighboring country, Kenya. 3 months. We were very lucky because we were closer to the border. Walking through the bushes, not by vehicle, because the Malaysia travels the main roads. You can't go. You have to go through the bushes. So in African bushes, what do you encounter? Lions, hyenas, elephants, all wild animals, also exposing another threat. Sometimes other adults will carry on their back. Sometimes you end up on top of donkeys, cows, camels, not elephants, not safe, will throw you somewhere. So any means of transportation that you can find, no food, no water, then you only depend on the leaves of the tree and the fruits of the tree. By the time we came to the neighboring country as a refugee, that's what the United Nations were receiving, UNHCR. So the book follows me coming from Somalia, then coming to the refugee camp. The life in the refugee camp was very hectic, was very bad, because the United Nations were planning to host UNHCR, United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. They were planning to host maybe 30,000, 40,000 refugees. But what happened was 300,000 showed up. So now in this room, if we say if we plan to host maybe 300, 500 students, what will happen if 10,000 shows up? The space will not be enough. So anything and everything that was available in the refugee camp was not enough. Food, you eat once a day or once every other day, because the food they plan to distribute was not enough for the number of people that showed up. So you eat once a day or once every other day. Schools, this whole row will be one classroom. This one will be another classroom. And all you depend is the note the teacher writes on the blackboard. Notebooks, you write one subject on one side, the other subject, another subject in the middle, the other subject, because you can only afford one notebook. A pencil you use until you can't hold it anymore. A pen until it doesn't write anymore. So school was a privilege. And clothes, look how many pieces we have today. But when I was at your age, I only wear one long t-shirt that goes up to your knee. That's what you can afford. Shoes, don't even mention it in the refugee camp. 99.9% of the children were barefooted. And that is very hot, very dusty. You have to walk to school for 1 hour at least. If you're closer, 40 minutes, 30 minutes school walk, barefooted, dust, very, very hot. Sometimes you have to run because you can't walk when it is very hot on the sun. You get sick, or even you can't walk. It's like very, 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 very hot. So why am I sharing all this? I'm sharing for some reasons. One, first, I want you guys to be grateful of all what you have that you don't know. Be grateful of all of the millions of opportunities, millions of resources that you guys have, but you take guarantee. There's a child somewhere in the world who doesn't have 1% of what you have. And they wish and they dream they had 10% of what you have. Everything that you have is a privilege that you guys have to be grateful, that you guys have to take advantage of it. The school, there's a child now in the refugee camp, he wants to go to school, there's no school to go to. He wants to read, there's no book to read. He wants to write, there's nothing to write with. And what do you guys have? The pencil you use for your first period, you do not even have it for the second period. You need scribe papers everywhere. Books to read, the library is full with books. Authors, I'm right here talking to you. I never ever talked with an author in my life when I was going to school, because that is a privilege, that's an opportunity that many students like you who are in middle school don't have. But still, we complain, we whine a little bit, because we are human beings, we are never satisfied. Because you don't know the importance of everything that you have until you don't have them anymore. For example, you don't have the importance of a school until you don't have a school to go to. You don't have the importance of a pen until you can't find a pen at all. And you want to write something, you have nothing to write with. You want to read, there's nothing to read. So be grateful, and you'll not always be this young, cute looking. At some point in life, you'll grow up, you'll get some responsibilities, you'll get gray hair like I'm getting right now, then you'll get older, and then you have to learn how to walk again. So be grateful, and take advantage of all the wonderful opportunities and the wonderful resources that you guys have. When I was in middle school, the book talks about, we were about 850 students in middle school. But for you to go to high school, they only had a space for 150 students. The rest, their education will end in middle school. I'm not talking about students wanting to go to college, no. A child who's in middle school, who wants to go to high school, there's no high school to go to. His education ends in 8th grade because there's no school to go to. For me, I was very fortunate, very lucky. In middle school, we set something called final exam for all middle schoolers. And then they will pick the top 150 students to go to high school. The rest, in high school, my time, I was required to wear white shirt and blue pants for school uniform. For me, although I did well, I wasn't able to go to high school. The first 3 weeks, I dropped out because I don't have school uniform. And then, if you read the book, we mentioned one of the characters' name is Susana Martinez, a social worker from Spain, who met me when I was in middle school. And she told me if I do well with my exams, she's gonna sponsor me, take me to buy for me school uniforms, all that stuff. She left, she could have forgotten me, but she didn't. When the final results came out, she came back looking for me in the high school. She couldn't find me. She said, "Where's Omar?" The school said, "This kid passed the exam, but he never came." So she could have left. Said, "Oh, I came to help him, but he's not here." No, she didn't. She kept looking for me until she came to my village. Then she met me in my village. She said, "Why you don't go to school?" I told her they need school uniform, books and pens. I have nothing. Then that's why she bought for me school uniform, school supplies, and she take me to school. So one small kind thing that you do to a fellow human being may have a huge impact in their life. I believe I am who I am because of that small gesture that human being that from very far from where I was from did for me. Imagine if she could have never came looking for me. Imagine if I could have never gone to high school. I don't think I would be here talking to you guys in English. So that's why one thing I wanted to take away from that is be kind and be nice to each other. One small kind thing that you do to your fellow schoolmate or your fellow classmate may be something that you may have a huge influence in them. That applies the same. One mean thing that you do to them may make them want to go from the school just because of you. Being picking on them, always saying mean things to them. They may not like the whole school just because of you. So we don't want to be remembered that way. We want to be remembered as someone who's helpful, who's friendly, who's kind, who's nice, who everybody wants to go to. We don't want to be that person that everyone wants to avoid, doesn't want to associate with. It doesn't have to be nice and kind. It's good. Also, do not judge others because they don't look like you, because they don't dress the way you dress, they don't talk the way you talk. They are not from where you are from. You're all equal. You're all human beings. As you can see, I'm black. I'm happy and proud to be black. All right? Did I choose to look the way I look? Who chose for me? God. So God chose each and every one of us the way we look. So who are we to judge others? Who are we? The skin color doesn't make anyone smarter. It doesn't make anyone dumber. It's just the skin color. Does the skin talk? Does the skin learn something? Then it's in what's in your brain. It's what's in your heart that matters. Never ever judge follow human beings because of their looks, because the way they dress, because the way they talk, because where they're from. Everybody let it be you. Let them be them, let be you too. Conflict happens when you interfere other people's business. When you say this is black, this is brown, this is white, this is white, white is mine. It's mind your own business. Be you and let them be them. End of the story. No conflict, nothing. Nothing happens. Okay, good. Finally, what do I do now after I came to America? I have a car, I have a family. My son is actually in sixth grade, and I have 7 kids. To your surprise. Now you can be celebrating. Okay, let's do it. Almost done, okay? Yes, I'm a father of 6. My youngest is only 1 month old. And the oldest is, I always say 13, I think it's still 13 years. He'll turn 14 in September. He's in 6th grade, he's doing well. My basketball team is ready, if anyone wants to challenge us, yes. So, what else I gotta say? Are you guys clapping? You make me like, where was I? I don't know. Oh, really? Yes. What do I do now? You know, I have a family, I have a job, I have car, all I need, and good. I can just say, okay, I'm happy. But I'm never happy until when I know the children who are going what I went through. I'll never be satisfied when I know there's still children who are going through when I was 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, 11 years old. So I'm trying my best to do what I can for those children in the refugee camp. So what I do, I'll have Christine share the PowerPoint with the teachers so they can show you different pictures and different videos within your classroom. So I'll share with you guys the PowerPoint that was supposed to show you so you can see the different projects that we do. What I do now is I'm the founder and the director of this organization called Refugee Strong. What we do is every year I go back to the Dadaab refugee camps, deliver 5 notebooks to each student, a pen and a pencil. Each student gets that when I go back to the refugee camps. Secondly, we build libraries. We built the first library 2023. This year we are also going to open the second library. On my way here, I was on the phone with our librarian back in the refugee camp. He told me all the supplies were delivered. We're only waiting the shelves to be built and the library should be ready. So we are building libraries, we are putting a lot of revision books in the library so students can study after school. The library is the only fancy looking building in the camp. It has light, solar light, it has van, but the big advantage problem that we have is it gets filled the first hour we open. There's always people waiting outside before even it's open. So now we have a policy where students or adults can't stay more than 2 hours in the library because we want to give space to others, but they can always borrow books. Our organization also provides transportation for students with disabilities like Hassan, my brother, and others. So we have car that picks them up, takes them to school, and brings them back to school. We also enroll orphanage kids to school, girls to school, and that's what Refugee Strong does, and we're able to do a lot of different projects in the refugee camps. You may ask, where do we get all this money? To build one library over there, it costs about $50,000. The library, plus the books, plus everything that we need, $50,000. We built 2 libraries with all these books. And we never get any grants from any state or from any government. And guess who's our sponsors? Children who read our book. 99.9% of our donors, of our supporters are children who read the book and they want to help young Omar young Hassan, who are still in the refugee camp. I always tell them thank you very much because they don't know the impact they are having on the lives of those children. You are making a child to go to school. You are making a child to read a book, to have a pen and a pencil and a notebook. So how do they do the students? Whenever I do different talks like this, they do group fundraising, class fundraising, school fundraising. I've seen millions of letters that students wrote for me where they say, I donate $20, this is the allowance my mom give me, this is the allowance my father give me, this is my sister give me, I want to give it to your organization so children in the refugee camps can have books or books. Some of them come together and they sell cookies in their backyard, Kool-Aid in their front yard, and some of them even do, I saw students from New Jersey, the highest donation I ever gave from one class was $5,000. They sell bracelets that was made by them, by the students themselves. So that is how we get support. Also, the organization is run by volunteers. Nobody gets paid. It's about 9 of us. We always welcome new volunteers who have any means or any ways to help us do more fundraising so we can build as many libraries as possible and also deliver as many books as possible. One or two or three things that I want you to take away from my stories: never give up, never lose hope. At some point in life, each and every one of you or each and every one of us will face some challenges, will face some struggles. You'll have good days, you'll have bad days, you'll have difficult days, you'll have sad days. It's okay. Why is it okay? Because we are human beings. That's how it's meant to be. There's no human being that says, since I was born, I have been having wonderful days every day. We can complain, but always remember, there's someone who is worse a situation than you can even imagine. So I would like to give few more minutes to have, if you guys have questions, so I would like to give you time for Q&A, and I always like to take, oh, this is my favorite part. 15 minutes for Q&A or even less. So you guys, all you have to do is don't say nothing, just raise your hand, I'll come find you, okay? If you don't ask questions, then I'll ask you questions, and I don't want to hear anybody talking because I'm rating you guys. I want to see if you are one of the best, one of the okay, or one of the terrible students. Because I want to come back with my future books. I have 3 more books coming up. So now I hear talking. That means -1 point already. Shh, guys, no talking, no talking, no talking. Only raise your hand. I used to be a teacher, so I know how to deal with you guys. Yes. So the question? Yes. Yes. Okay, that's a good question. You said how I feel with my neighbors, and if I ever met with my parents again. For one of my parents, my father, I will let you guys figure it out. So it's mentioned in the book many times or everything. My mom is also mentioned in the author's note. And Hassan, my brother, is with my mom right now. So that shows we are united. I don't want to be the spoiler for the next book. So you're going to talk about my mom, my 3 sisters that were never mentioned in the book, and more for my next book, the sequence of this one. If you wanted me to come back to your school, you guys have to treat me well today. Yes. How many people are in the refugee camp? There are about 350,000 of refugees who are in the refugee camp. And we refugees call the refugee camp open prison because there's checkpoints outside the refugee camp by the police. You're not allowed to leave. You try to leave, they will send you back to the refugee camp. Imagine staying in the same compound for 34 years, doing nothing. And imagine eating the same meal for 17 years, one meal. Because I didn't tell you earlier, when we said you eat once a day, what you eat is not like different choice of food. It's only one meal, which is corn, maize with a little oil. That is only you eat every day for 34 years, for 17 years. Now, let me hear you complain about the food that you guys get. Any other question? Yes?
What's your favorite color?
What's my favorite color? The color of my food. Which color is that? Easy answer. Yes, I just cheated. Yes, any other question? Yes, at the back. I like back benches because I used to sit at the back always to avoid the teacher's session. Guys, down. Let's keep it down. Yes, this is how I talk. Talking with people, making new friends, always open about not looking in the past, but looking in the future. Because if you talk about and worry about what happened to you 10 years ago, you're just hanging behind. Don't worry about it. The future is bright for everybody. Just think always tomorrow, not yesterday. Yesterday is gone, it will never come back. So tomorrow is something that's ahead of you. So always try to be how you can be a better person tomorrow than you were yesterday. But if you start yesterday, then you are going back and past yesterday. Then what's gonna happen? Think about tomorrow. After tomorrow, I'm gonna be a better person for myself. Yes. Someone raised their hand, unless they were saying hi to me. Yeah. Are you a student or a teacher? I'm just kidding. You know, it's still a privilege to have a candidate in the classroom. Yes, here I come, my friend. Okay, this is one of good questions. Do you have So he asked one of the good questions. If I ever reunited with Nemo, that means he read the book. All the other characters in the book are real. Nemo now lives in Lexington, Nebraska. But I will tell you one funny thing about. Do you guys know Tall Ali from the book? This why it's so important on me. That figure has some connection to the book. Right? I'm only signing this book, so don't bring me another book. Okay? unless you ask me. Any other question? It has to be one of the best if you want me to sign your question. Yes. How old is our son? You don't ask people's age nowadays. In my culture, age is a privilege. If someone tells you, oh, you look old, here it's like, that's offensive, right? In my culture, it's not. It's a compliment. If someone tells you, oh, you aged, that means you get money, blessed years. You live long. That's a blessing to see. The longer you live, the more blessings you get, right? So if someone tells you, hey, how old are you? Tell him, the older you can get. Hassan, I just try to avoid your question. Hassan is doing very well. He's 2 years older than, or younger than me. If I tell you how old he is, then you're going to figure out how old I am. Yes. Main language? In Maine?
No, like the first language.
Oh, yeah, I see some Somali students. Where are you guys? You speak Somali? Yeah. Yeah, how's it going? How's it going? That's me speaking Somali language. I just asked her how she's doing, how she's doing. Yes. Oh, this is another best question. Good question. What inspired me to write this book? My first inspiration person is my brother Hassan. Hassan inspired me, and that is what motivated me to be a better person for himself. Then I can be for a better person for myself. Oh, yeah, the question has come back. Yeah, you want to see this was just like, it must be one of the best of the best. Hours I'm going to be super, super nice. Do I have any pets? Yes, I tried to have a cat, but you can imagine a cat with 7 kids. You know, they keep chasing her all day. Everyone wants to hold her. I was like, no, I'm getting rid of this. It's extra job work for you guys because the cat, poor cat, has to deal with 7 kids every day. Sometimes it hides from them, wants to take some rest, but they won't let them. Yes, you know, I keep my promise. I keep back. What does you say? God? You have to tell me. Huh? Is there still a war in Somalia? Yes. There are still people who are coming from Somalia right now. There's a new refugee camp that was just created for the new arrivals. Imagine 34 years ago, that's when this camp was created. There's still people who are coming. Also, there are people who try to go back because they're tired of staying in that open prison, but some of them paid the price of losing their life. Then they have to be fled again. Yes, you, and then I'm going to the guys of the war. Huh? What's my favorite animals? You know, it's mentioned in the book. What is it? My favorite animal is mentioned in the book. No, brownie. The goat. Guys, don't stop, yes. Huh? Now, are we going to have animal questions, all animal questions? No. Any other question? Yes. Okay, this is also another good question. He said, when will my next book come out? I'm working on 3 more books. One is almost done. Another one is almost done. Another one is work in progress. So when you're writing books, you know what? One thing that takes forever. Even to make the cover of the book takes months. To agree on a name with the publishers takes months. When you are going between forth and back with the editor, takes forever. So now it's for you guys, one thing that you have to learn is when you submit something to your teacher and he sends back to you for a correction, take advantage of that. Now I have to deal with an editor when I'm not in school. Do you know how many times I'm sent back to my book? 11 times for correction. So whenever your teacher sends back for correction, that's good. You want your stuff to be corrected before it is officially submitted. Now this book has 1 spelling error. Good luck with it. Any question? Yes. Have I ever been back to the depth? Look it up. refugeeiswrong.org. Then you will find me in the depth. Yes. What did I major in college? What do you guys think? Writing? No. What did I major in college? Teaching? Absolutely no. I can do You know, I also want, since you reminded me, teachers, teaching, I wanna tell you I wanna give you an advice about teachers. You see how they're standing around, always after you. Why? Because they want you to succeed in life. Nothing else. Each and every teacher wants you to succeed your life for yourself, not for them. They want you to be a better person for yourself, not for them. I am who I am because of my teachers. Do I call them now? No. Do I send them any money now? No. I don't even know where they live. So whenever you see your teachers after you trying to make sure you're doing okay, they have nothing, but they all want you to succeed in life so you can be a better person for yourself, for your family, for your community, for your town, for your state, for your country, nothing else. So please and please be kind to them, be nice to them, and don't make them like always put you a lot of energy because they have a lot of stuff to do. Then telling you, hey, sit down, hey, listen, do this, do that. you're in middle school, you're not in kindergarten, right? This is where the teachers have to rest. But I know this is the most difficult teenage times to deal with. Any other question? How are you? Where is my brother now? Where is he? He's with my mom in Kenya. So who's gonna ask? Yes. What would you- Who gets the last question? My bad. Should I pick you? I think you have guys. Good. I'm gonna stay late so I can come to your classroom to answer your question. So I can miss my flight. All right, she gets to ask the last question and I get to sit down. Let's go ahead. Okay, I'll come back to that question. Who is that guy? Yes? Now you're gonna celebrate. We're gonna win one second at a time. Okay, thank you very much. I want to answer your questions in one time. No, I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna stay 10 minutes late, so if you guys can book my next flight, I can cancel and then maybe. Just kidding, I can't miss. My kids waiting. So she said, what's causing the war in Somalia? It has something to do with politics and tribalism. What is my favorite food? The other person asked. I have no favorite food. You can always have favorite foods when you have options. I didn't grow up having options of different foods. Up to now, when I go to a restaurant, that is the most difficult thing for me to do. What should I? I always pick the worst choice because I don't know. Because I didn't grow up 17 years of juicing different meals, different type of food, all that stuff. What do you eat when you are coming to Kenya? We eat fruits, tree leaves. That's how I grew up. So later I'll be signing books at the library. Right? So if you wanna come and say hi to me, you're welcome. But I know it is already troubled by 10 you guys because all of you get be there. So it was really nice. You guys are not the best, but you are one of the best. Is that fair? All right. One of the best is the best. Right? One of the best. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, front row. Thank you, second row. Thank you, third row. Okay, you were a very good audience, and I need you to stay at voice level 0 right now. If you have a book to sign, I want you to stay seated in your chair. If you do not have a book to sign, 7th grade on team A and B are going to get up and leave. All right, A and B, tell me your whale names. That's a great idea. If you are in 7th grade on the lower level, you may get up and leave. Okay, 7th grade on 2. If you do not have a book to sign, you may get up and go. All 7th graders, thank you for your attention.